All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're exploring the idea of limiting beliefs. You know, those sneaky little doubts that can hold us back without us even realizing it.
It's true. And often these beliefs aren't conscious choices we make. They're more like echoes from our past or messages we've internalized from society.
Yeah, like they become these hidden scripts playing in the background, shaping our actions and decisions without us even realizing it. The script mentions examples like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be successful.
And those kinds of beliefs, those are incredibly common. In fact, research shows that people who hold strong limiting beliefs about their abilities are less likely to even attempt challenging tasks. They unconsciously avoid situations that could disprove those deeply ingrained beliefs.
So they're almost creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you're not good enough, you won't even try, and then you never get the chance to prove yourself wrong.
Exactly. It's like our brains are wired to seek out evidence that confirms what we already believe, even if it's not true. It's a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like our brains are playing a game of prove me right instead of actually looking for the truth.
Exactly. And unfortunately, that can really sabotage our efforts to grow and achieve our goals.
So how do we even begin to untangle ourselves from these limiting beliefs? The script emphasizes the importance of self-awareness.
Yes, self-awareness is key. It's like tuning into the radio station of your mind and really paying attention to the messages playing. What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? Are those messages empowering or are they filled with self-doubt and negativity?
We need to become aware of those negative thought patterns, those why am I even trying or I'm going to mess this up anyway, thoughts that can creep in.
Exactly. Recognizing those negative thought patterns is a crucial first step in breaking free from their grip. It's like shining a light on those shadows and saying, I see you, I'm on to you.
But recognizing those thoughts is just the first step, right? How do we actually rewire our brains to embrace more positive and empowering beliefs?
Well, the good news is that our brains are incredibly adaptable. They have this remarkable ability to change and rewire themselves throughout our lives, and that's called neuroplasticity. So each time we consciously choose a more empowering thought over a limiting one, it's like we're carving a new pathway in our minds.
So with consistent effort, we can actually retrain our brains to embrace those empowering beliefs.
Oh.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. But how do we even begin to identify these deeply ingrained thought patterns we might not even be aware of? The script mentions something about looking for recurring themes in our lives.
It's like detective work. Think about it. Let's say you're constantly hitting roadblocks in your career, like you're always getting passed over for promotions or you're struggling to land that dream job.
Or maybe it's your relationships that seem to follow a similar pattern. You keep attracting the same type of partner and it never quite works out.
Right. Those kinds of patterns, those can be really telling. They often point to an underlying limiting belief that's driving those experiences.
Like those beliefs become this blueprint for how we interact with the world, and then we subconsciously keep playing out the same patterns over and over again.
Exactly. And the script also suggests paying attention to our emotional responses. Those can be big clues too. Like when you feel intense anxiety or fear or frustration in a particular situation, those emotions might be signaling that there's a limiting belief lurking beneath the surface.
So if I'm terrified of public speaking, it might not just be stage fright. It could be a deeper fear of judgment or a belief that I'm not interesting enough.
You got it. Those feelings, they're like smoke signals. They're alerting you to a potential fire, a limiting belief that needs to be addressed. The script even recommends a journaling exercise to help unearth these hidden beliefs. Like actually writing down your thoughts and emotions, especially in those moments when you're feeling triggered or stuck.
Instead of just writing, I'm feeling stressed, it's about asking that deeper why question. Why am I feeling this way? What belief might be fueling this emotional reaction?
Exactly. And here's where things get really interesting. The script introduces this really cool technique called the but technique to help reframe those limiting beliefs once we've identified them.
The but technique. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's incredibly simple but surprisingly effective. Let's say you've uncovered a limiting belief like, I'm not creative.
Oh, I think a lot of us can relate to that one. So how would we apply this but technique in that situation?
So instead of letting that belief just stand on its own, you add the word but, followed by an empowering statement. So it becomes, I'm not creative, but T, I'm willing to explore new ideas and experiment without judgment.
I love that. It's like you're acknowledging that limiting belief, but then you're immediately counteracting it with a more expansive perspective. It's like saying, okay, maybe this belief has been true for me in the past, but I'm not going to let it define my future.
Exactly. That simple word, but, it creates a powerful shift in mindset. It allows you to hold both the limiting belief and the empowering belief simultaneously. And that creates space for new possibilities to emerge.
It's like you're rewiring your brain to focus on growth and potential rather than limitations. But let's be real, changing deeply ingrained beliefs, that probably takes time and effort. It's not like we can just flip a switch and suddenly become a completely different person.
You're absolutely right. Transforming these beliefs, it's a journey, not a quick fix. And it's important to approach this process with a lot of self-compassion. It's normal to stumble or have setbacks along the way. The key is to just keep practicing, keep challenging those old thought patterns, and keep reinforcing those new, empowering beliefs.
So it's about consistency and patience, just like with any other skill or habit we're trying to develop. We can't expect to run a marathon after one day of jogging, and similarly, we can't expect to completely overhaul our belief system overnight.
Exactly. It's a gradual process. It's about rewiring those neural pathways, strengthening those new connections in our brains. And remember, each time you consciously choose an empowering thought over a limiting one, you're reinforcing those positive pathways, making it more likely you'll choose that same path again in the future.
It's like building mental muscle memory. The more we exercise those positive thought patterns, the stronger they become. It's like we're training our brains to flex those positivity
Yeah.
muscles, right? Building that foundation so we can really make some changes. It makes you wonder what we could accomplish if we could just, break free from all those limitations we put on ourselves.
That's the really exciting part. The possibilities, they really do become endless. And it's not just about individual achievement either. The script even talks about how transforming these limiting beliefs, it can positively impact, well, pretty much everything. Our relationships, our careers, our overall well-being.
So it's like this ripple effect. We start seeing positive changes in one area of life, and then it just kind of spills over into other areas, creating this chain reaction.
Exactly. Let's say, for example, you finally break free from that limiting belief that you're just, not good enough. Well, that newfound confidence, it might empower you to speak up more at work, maybe take on some new challenges, and even form deeper connections with the people around you.
Wow. So it's like you're actually rewriting the entire script of your life, huh?
Yeah.
Shifting from this narrative of I can't to one of I can, from limitation to possibility. But with all this talk about rewiring our brains and making big changes, it's also important to remember that self-compassion. That's key, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's so easy to get caught up in this, I don't know, this pursuit of self-improvement. And then we start judging ourselves for having these limiting beliefs in the first place. But these beliefs, they often stem from past experiences or messages we've internalized over time, and they don't define who we are.
It's like we've been carrying around these heavy suitcases filled with, these old beliefs, these beliefs that really don't serve us anymore. And that first step, it's simply acknowledging those suitcases, without judgment. And then we can gently start unpacking one by one.
I love that analogy. It really is a journey of self-discovery, isn't it? And it's okay to move at our own pace. Some beliefs might be really deeply ingrained, so they might require more time and effort to transform,
Yeah.
right? While others, well, they might loosen their grip a little more easily. But the important thing, no matter what, is to keep practicing, keep learning, keep growing.
Absolutely. Well, as we start to wrap up this deep dive into limiting beliefs, I want to leave our listeners with a question that really resonated with me from the script. And that question is this. What one limiting belief, if you could just completely overcome it, would have the absolute biggest positive impact on your life? Just one.
Think about it.
That's such a powerful question. And as you're reflecting on that, remember, you have the power within you to challenge those limiting beliefs, all of them, and create a life that's truly aligned with your potential. Your true potential. It really has been an enlightening conversation, and I genuinely hope our listeners are walking away feeling empowered, feeling like they have a fresh perspective, a new understanding of just how powerful their minds really are. And until next time, remember, keep exploring, keep growing, and always keep believing in your own limitless possibilities, because they're there.